I have very, what you would call, eclectic taste in music. I have a great collection of music, spanning from many 78s up to the newer digital stuff. I do prefer the albums. This happens to be a Nielsen, Harry Nielsen album called A Little Touch of Schmielsen in the Night. Tremendous album. Does a lot of the old classics with a full orchestra. Just amazing. Jim Croce, Joe Cocker, great album. Another Harry Nielsen, The Point. And there's versions of The Point that are narrated by, at one time the Beatles were asked who their favorite performer was, and it was unanimous that Harry Nielsen was the man. And when he did the Point album, Ringo actually narrated on some versions. Hoyt Axton, another great performer. And John Prine, now it's kind of funny. He was big at one time. I've actually seen him in concert. Great performer and still going. Last I heard, in fact, I think his daughter's going with him. But this is one of his first albums, but a great performer. And one of the first, Jerry Jeff Walker. But there's a lot of really good music out there that kind of gets lost in the mix. It's not commercial, and it's like most things, when they become too commercialized, they get mediocre. And that's pretty much the way it's become. For me, radio is pretty much a wasteland. I seldom find anything on there that is of any interest to me. Everything now is, you got your classic rock, which I didn't care for the first time around. I don't care for it now. And the new country, which is really horrible. There isn't much for me, with the one exception. We have a local public radio station that they have a guy running a show called Into the Music. I think it goes from noon till 4. Mike Olson is his name, and it's amazing to listen to him. He is so up on music, and he's just like a genius on music. There's many times where he'll play a tune, and he'll think, well, I wonder if he knows about, this other version that was done, many years before that by somebody else. And by God, the next thing he'll do is play that one. He knows his music. So, in an attempt at outreach, I'm going to tell you about that radio station, because as most things are now, nothing's local anymore. But if you go to prairiepublic.org, it streams live on the internet. And you can get the app to run it on almost anything. But he's a great man. Does a really good job. That he doesn't have a national type show amazes me, but he's great. Now, the reason I bring up music, but it's prairiepublic.org, and you can choose. There's a classical station, but there's an FM too that's got Mike Olson on it, and he's just great. But the reason I bring up music, the other day, somebody had made a comment, and there was a comment to the comment on one of my videos, and somebody who shall remain nameless said to look in his favorites at this particular thing. So I went looking in his favorites, and I was astonished at his favorites. There was a lot of this, rap, hip-hop kind of gangster stuff, so I didn't find what I was looking for. I felt too dirty. It wasn't where I wanted to be. So, like I say, I'm reaching out and hoping you can educate yourself on music. You know, because that stuff is just, you know, I'm eclectic, but you got to draw a line someplace. But like I say, this guy will give you a musical education. You know, it's a shame that, you know, that whenever I see those music awards, I mean, it's the most horseshit crap going on. It's unbelievable. That isn't music. But, you know, like I say, he's evidently into the hip-hop gangster stuff. And I should have known it, you know, when I think about it. I mean, it shocked me at the time, but I should have known it. He has a tendency for the bling, you know, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But, as in most cases, it's always the innocents that suffer. So I do feel for poor Rudy.